Dragon Ball Absalon, Episode 5. Where do I even start? Probably with my intro. Future self. Kick it one time. Okay, look. Let's start off with episode 5 part 1. Maajuub is finally back, my favorite character, not to be biased. And he's fighting against Sizzle still. Now, I love how Maajuub now has how can I say this? I like the new effects that Mellavelli is producing with each episode. You can see his progress as things go on, like the after image effect with Sizzle and Maajuub and all that kind of thing. And the interesting development, I didn't understand in the beginning stages how he was going to introduce Majin Buu into this whole thing, but now I see why. And I'm impressed. The plot twist with Sizzle being an ex-Majin, ex-Babidi worker, whatever that was pretty slick. And the fact that he's able to summon Majin Buu from within Maju, and the necklace was holding him intact, holding him in check. Maju in check, not Majin Buu in check. I like that, but the fact that it kind of backfired on Sizzle when Majin Buu, no, not Majin Buu, Maju. Why I get these two mixed up? Maju killed him. Now, that is a victory for the Z Fighters. Finally, it's about time, because I really didn't see how they're gonna wrap this up. But I'm intrigued by the idea of Maajuub having a dark side. Now, I don't know if he's able to pull himself back together, or after this episode on, Majin Buu is about to pop out of his chest or something like that. But the dark Maju was pretty sick. Looked pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite character, so I gotta appreciate that. In part 2, we finally got to see Krillin, and he's chaining, looks like Rukido. I hope I pronounced that right. Which is Gohan. Yeah, I checked. Yeah, it's Rukido, and he's talking to Rukido about his father and that type of thing. And he seemed like a nice kid. He seemed like he doesn't have a lot of confidence in himself. But he wants to help his father in combat, and he gets this ability. We get this sequence where he senses his fight with Kosho, Lieutenant Kosho, and he senses his father's in danger, so he flies off to go help him. Even though Krillin tries to stop him, although Krillin knows that he can't really stop him, the kid powers up to Super Saiyan 1, looks like, and flies off. Krillin flies off behind him. Now, this is why my theory, I think, of the Z Fighters getting captured still stands, because I don't see them getting out of this. Okay, unless Maju helps one side or the other, because Gohan is in the most immediate danger. But we'll get to that. Part 3 comes up. Now, I think of all the villains that I've seen, Lieutenant Kosho is my favorite. I just love the voice actor on him. Sounds like a version of the Joker, and I just love how epic he sounds. He's really spot on voice actor for this guy. I don't remember his name. I know I looked it up when I was in Kenya still. But spot on. Anyway, so the fight continues. Did we get a quick review of where we left off in episode 3? Lieutenant Kosho versus Mystic Level 1 Gohan, and Lieutenant Kosho at Super Saiyan 3 at this point. Gohan survived the chokehold, getting thrown through the mountain and getting clotheslined. He survived, which is good. He then takes off these weights, kind of like Rock Lee, I guess. And then he gets so much faster. He analyzes the lieutenant's technique and sees that the technique of the lieutenant is just the same type of movements, kind of in linear fashion. Now, He did also notice that the lieutenant was not tired and was doing it deliberately, meaning that Gohan needed to finish him quickly. So after he takes off the weights, he gets much faster and finally puts a pounding on the lieutenant. And then he pounds him to the ground. I don't know if he hit. Cyborg mentioned something about him hitting his armor plating and just injuring him, incapacitating him. But Cyborg reprimands him because he should have killed Lieutenant Kosho, because Lieutenant Kosho gets back up, turns into Super Saiyan 4, and then we're back to where we started. He starts pounding Gohan again. Now, he did some kind of Hyuga technique. I like how Mellavelli involves different type of techniques, kind of like throwing a shout out to Naruto and stuff like that. He used like the Hyuga's type of technique where he touched all of Gohan's key points, blocking off his energy abilities and just reducing him to just his bare fist abilities, and really starting to toy with him pretty much. Because at this point, Mystic Gohan can't take on Super Saiyan 4. We all know this. And what's even worse is they go through a little conversation, and we get to see kind of a cool flashback of Lieutenant Kosho's previous army, and we get to see some of this Absalon Saiyan history, and we get to see that he had a half-breed in his army, and he explains a little bit why he hates half-breeds nowadays. I don't want to spoil too much. I want y'all to see the episode, even though this episode does say plot spoilers in the title, and you know my reviews, I go in depth. Anyway, after the short conversation, they start talking about fear and ascension, the different Super Saiyan levels, and Gohan said, look, ascension, there's nothing wrong with fear. It helps you see your limits, helps you keep a reasonable measure of yourself. But Lieutenant Kosho thinks otherwise, transforms into what looks like this perfect Super Saiyan 4 transformation with gold hair and gray fur. It's not Super Saiyan 5, it's Super Saiyan 4. I've been reading the comments under the video. It looks like it's a perfect Super Saiyan 4 transformation. And then he goes against Gohan again. This time he whoops him maybe about in a span of about 10 seconds, and Gohan is unconscious. Now, this is where the episode ends. Okay, back to my theory of the Z fighters getting captured. So let's go back to episode 2 for a second. Or is it episode 4? It's episode 4, yeah. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks has beaten Peruka because Peruka got arrogant, but he still has to defeat Lieutenant Kara and now General Tamangi, voiced by Tyrone Magnus. And we don't know how much time the fusion has before it wears off. And I think once it wears off, Trunks and Goten will either have to retreat, which is kind of unlikely because I don't see the general or the lieutenant letting them get away, or surrender. Unless Maajuub goes to their side and intervenes. Then they might have a chance. I take that back. They still don't have the fusion, and it'll take a little time for the fusion to wear off. And I don't know how strong Maju would be after his fight with Sizzle, but even if he's still himself, because he's still kind of dark side or whatever you want to call it. So that's if Maju decides to go help Goten and Trunks. On the other hand, we got Gohan just getting demolished by Lieutenant Kosho left and right, and then Cyborg is there as well. And let's say Maju goes to help Gohan instead. I don't think Maju will be able to make much of a difference on that side either, because Mystic Gohan is at least as powerful as a Super Saiyan 3. So he's already better than not Goten and Trunks, because they can transform into Super Saiyan 3, but it's just one of him now. And we got Lieutenant Kosho, who's obviously had more combat experience in these equivalent forms, and now he just turned to a perfect Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Not to mention we still have Cyborg to deal with, which looks like in the intro that he's fighting a Super Saiyan 5 Vegito. So even with Maju's help, I don't see them even getting away on the Lieutenant Kosho Gohan side. On Goten and Trunks side, maybe if they don't antagonize General Tamangi, who by the way, now I think about it, seems to be also in the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. So the situation is good in the fact that Maju now has his hands free, relatively. but it's not good enough where I see anybody getting out. Now, I forgot to mention this in the end of episode 5.35, episode 5, part 3. Gohan's son Rukido fires off a key shot at Lieutenant Kosho. He's still in Super Saiyan 1. That's not really gonna do anything. I think this kid's gonna die. I don't want to say that. Not that I know he's gonna die. I just know he's gonna be used. This is gonna end badly. Either the kid's gonna get injured and captured really easily, unless he can pull out some miracle, crazy Super Saiyan transformation, or Lieutenant Kosho and Cyber are going to capture the kid and use it against Gohan, force him to surrender in like a ransom type situation, hostage situation. The kid should just not get involved. But since he fired off that shot, they know who he is now, and they know he means something, so they're going to attack him. And Lieutenant Kosho just kills half-breeds for fun. If he doesn't like half-breeds like Gohan, he's not going to like a quarter-breed. Yeah, the situation looks dire, but that's why I love this series, because it's so intense. I can't wait to see what develops in episode 6, or if there's episode 5 part 4. I've been watching Sam Khan's reviews overseas, and now that I got back in the States, and I don't know if there's going to be episode 5 part 4, or there's going to be just copped episode 6, but I'm just glad this series is continuing. Now, we need to cover a few things, because the game has changed according to Mellavelli studio. He's no longer putting out full-length episodes because everybody in the comments is complaining that takes too long. Now, I didn't mind waiting for full episodes, but so many people have complained that he decided to push these out faster. Now, he has been getting more constant support on Patreon, so I appreciate everybody who's been donating with me, whoever's been supporting the game, because he needs more of that. And he's been able to put these out instead of once a year, a couple times a year, which is great. Like we got how many episodes in the span of this year? Late 2015 to early 2016, we got all of episode 5. We got episode 4, I think. Yeah, 4 episodes. Well, actually 2 episodes, but we're getting more uploads. Although I will say, with his new, I've been seeing the difference in his background artist. Background artist is doing a great job. You can see the development from episode 1 to now. Although I will say some of the action scenes are kind of hard to keep up with. I do think Mellavelli is pushing himself in terms of action, and I will say some of the camera angles, I don't like it to be moving so much, like in the Maju versus Sizzle fight, for example. There's just too much motion to see what's kind of going on in some scenes. Most scenes are pretty good. It's just when they're flying around in the air and stuff like that, it just seems a little over the top. But I love the series. As far as theories go, my one standing theory is that these guys are gonna get captured or something, because I'm still trying to connect this with that video of Super Saiyan 4 Gohan and Evil Trunks. Something obviously is gonna happen on the Trunks Goten side really soon, as soon as that fusion wears off. Maajuub side, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not sure what's going on with Future Trunks, Piccolo, Gohan, and Piccolo, Vegeta, and Goku. Now, we did get that episode 5 beta, Super Saiyan 5 beta, to see that they get here kind of at the aftermath of this battle. I guess we're getting closer to their arrival, but I don't see it happening in the next episode. Maybe like episode 7 or 8. And now I'm just throwing things out there now, but love the episode, love the work. Absalon needs to keep continuing, and this is the Adam Smasher. I'm out.